Hello everyone, it's Amy, and I'm here to show you how I store my store-bought stencils. Now, my own homemade stencils I make on plastic divider sheets that fit in a ring binder, and so I fit those in my ring binder with a sheet of paper between each one so they can't get caught on each other. But the ones from the stores are all different sizes, and to me, I hadn't found a good way to store them until I decided to store them this way. And I know you can't see it very well, but I just thought I would show it to you from the top, and I'm going to lay it down so that you can see. These are just file folders, and I just put them in a box. Oops. And I just cut an angle on the side of the box. The bottom is all still the same, and then I just cut file folders in different heights and even different widths to hold my stencils. And then all of my smallest stencils are in the front going all the way back to. The only thing that I so far have not done is I have not done anything with my 12 by 12s, and that's because I don't have 12 by 12 file folders. But the reason that I do this is, number one, it kind of puts my stencils by size, and that way if I'm looking for little stencils, I'm only looking right here in the front. If I'm looking for something really big to cover a whole page, I'm going to start looking back here. I don't want to find a bunch of little tiny stencils when I'm looking for something that I want to cover a whole page quickly. But the other thing is that to me, stencils, they always get caught on each other. And so what happens is, even if you stack them in something, if you don't put like a piece of paper between each one, then when you go to take them out, you go to pull one out, it catches on the one before it, they get all bent up, and they're just kind of a pain in the behind, the way that they get caught with each other. And that's the reason that I did this, was I hated the fact that every time I tried to get a stencil, it was caught on a different stencil, and I'm trying to pull it out or trying to put it back in its original packaging. It just fits, so you try and slide it in there, and all the little bits get stuck over the edges, and it drives me crazy trying to push it into there. So this way you just pull one out and you just pull it out. And I also did whoops, let me lay that back down again. On the front of each file folder, I actually did the stencil itself. So as I'm looking through them, I can look through and say, oh, I like the looks of that one, I like the looks of that one, and pull them out. And then I also did write who made it, what the name of the stencil is if it has a name, and its number. So if I ever decide to do anything that I'm going to send into a magazine or something, you have to give them all that information of whatever you used. So that way that information would be there available for me, because I'm not really good at, I never hardly keep packaging, so I never know who it was. So this time I thought, I'm going to do this. Now, I made this box a long time ago, and then I figured I even had extra file folders, and I thought what I'm going to do is every time I buy a new stencil, I'm going to do the file folder and I'm going to stick it in there. And that didn't work. I pulled it out yesterday to use some stencils and thought, okay, you have to put all of your stencils in the folders. They were all in their packaging, and you have to get it all ready before you can use them. It took me a day and a half. I had a little bit over 90 stencils that I had not put in here, and so it took me forever. Stencils are my downfall. They are the one thing that I am addicted to. Some people have tons of washi tape, or to me, it's stencils. I just love them. You can use them for painting. You can use them for, on fabric, with fabric paint. You can use them to draw around if you need to draw a design. To me, they're just wonderful, and I love them. And I love how this system works because it divides everything. I think for my 12 by 12 is what I'm actually going to do, because I hate putting a 12 by 12 back in its plastic. It's, that is just so tough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two 12 by 12 pieces of paper, and I'm going to make my own folders for each one of these. I just hadn't got to that yet, and so that is something I will get to at some point in time, I hope. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this because this is a good way for me to store my stencils, and I thought that if you were having a hard time storing your stencils and you wanted some ideas, that this would be an idea you could start with. And then my only suggestion is, when you get new stencils, do up the folder and stick it in its spot before you get too many, and it takes you a day and a half to finish it up. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope this may have helped some of you with your stencil storage, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.